banger live stream. It is Matic Mondays. And if this is your first time checking us out with Matic Mondays, we talk about everything from remote work, digital nomad, traveling, transferring your skills, all that under the sun, and a little bit of just, hardcore traveling, like where we're going and stuff. But if you are returning, welcome back. We appreciate you coming back and checking us out. Share with your friends, your family, your foes, and
Your fools.
yeah, you got to show love to the enemies and the haters, man. They probably want to work remote too. So, um, yes, my homegirl, Sports and Heels, to my
What
side.
up, y'all?
What's good? What's good?
Oh, you know me, just hanging, literally.
Yes, I see you in your little hammock. You
Yeah,
swinging.
I had to switch it up tonight. I promise I won't swing y'all to death tonight, make y'all dizzy, but yeah, you
Oh,
know,
you promise you won't swing on us?
it's just me in relaxation mode, enjoying a different space in my place.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I was coming up with something. I try to come up with some cool little concepts and ideals with what we're going to talk about. So much stuff, happening in the world. So I said, actually, I saw it when Canva. I was creating something else totally different, but all centered around this remote work. And a lot of people are reneging. A lot of people are just like, turning around on their comments, and we're gonna be fully remote. We're gonna be, listening to the people. We're gonna be listening to our employees' needs and wants. And then now they're like, hey, if you don't get back in this office,
Yeah, you got 1 week.
hey,
We know we hired you
you
remote.
either gonna be
I
with
know.
us,
Yes, we
you either
understand.
gonna be with us or without us.
But we got 5 offices in New York, Los Angeles, Hawaii. We need you to find one of those expensive offices with unrealistic real estate and move back there expeditiously so you can report to the office on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's where we at. Um, so I call it the shutdown. Like, is it over? Like the government shutdown. Thank you for the politicians finally coming to their senses and not shutting down the contracts, because I work a federal contract, and it would have not directly impact me, but it would have impacted me in some form or fashion with my employment. But
Yeah.
um, so we don't even want to cross them roads.
And we
Uh,
got the furlough. I mean, the shutdown is only delayed it by like a month and a
yeah,
half.
November 17th. They probably
Yeah.
gonna push it to November 17th.
Yes.
I'm willing to think that right now. Um, but yeah, so it's the remote shutdown. Is it a remote shutdown?
Looking like
Um, yeah, yeah. I just really pulled up something that I wanted to kind of talk about. Kind of gives a little snapshot of what's going on here. Let me present it. The company that actually worked was like one of the pioneers of remote work, Zoom. They
it.
started to kind of renege on their promises.
All right, let's see what they got to say.
Mandating that their employees come into the office a couple of days a week. Yeah.
Oh boy!
So everything I know about irony, I learned from Alanis Morissette.
That's an old reference.
What is going on here? Technical difficulties.
So I'm not sure if this is irony or if this is some other.
I know it's saying I'm experiencing interruptions. Man, this bootleg Wi-Fi. Actually, I'm on the Ethernet cord.
Oh.
Word. But certainly it caught my eye this morning.
And those of you who don't work remote or don't work in an office setting, Zoom, I mean, surely you know what Zoom is now, as a lot of people used it during the pandemic that we're still in, by the way, but used it a lot during the height of the pandemic. A lot of people use Zoom, and it's a video meeting platform. Does it look like it's going to come up?
I'm gonna try one more time.
Caught my eye this morning. So Zoom, of course, became so popular during.
I don't know what happened here.
The pandemic. It was not just a noun; it was also a verb.
All right. Well.
So ironically, Zoom, the company that everyone used to remote work or to transition out of the office and still maintain business, that means still have meetings, huddles, conferences, breakout sessions, you name it, video conferencing really grew pretty big, and Zoom was a front runner for your workers can still be productive and get work done if you're using Zoom. There was an expansion of products being offered by Zoom. There was an enhancement of existing products to offer different benefits based upon customer feedback. So there was a real big push and rollout for all the capabilities that Zoom allows during the height of the pandemic. And it's very ironic that they're now saying, hey, I know we did this big push about remote work and being productive and everything, but we want you guys to come back into the office. I think that's hilarious.
Yes, that is. I mean, it's crazy. A lot of companies, Facebook, Google, because I know I did do a search on that. When you put in reversing remote work, you got these headlines here. Ubisoft Montreal staff are angry after allegedly reversing remote work policy. The shift to working from home will be difficult to reverse. Google's
a big one. Google was one of the companies who actually put out commercials, and that was part of their recruiting efforts during the pandemic was, we are a company that continue to operate remotely.
Yeah. Future work trends, companies reverse course on remote work policies. Employees protests at the company reverses remote work policies. Yeah, they doing a big reverse on us. So that's why I came up with that title, The Shutdown. They're shutting it down on us. After giving it to us, they want to take it away now.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, we know why. I think I found a TikTok video of a CEO actually saying why. That is the one that says this is why they want us to not be remote anymore. They want unemployment to rise.
Okay.
That's the real reason. They want to flood the market with workers so that the power then shifts back to the employer. And if you are able to play the video, there's a line in there that really speaks to the motive behind the push to return to office and the remote work. The remote work thing, unfortunately, is a byproduct of the employer versus employee dynamic right now. I mean, as you guys are aware, and if you're not aware, there are strikes happening all over the workforce, especially in the auto industry. I mean, even writers were on strike. Actors are currently on strike. You've had railway workers on strike this past 12 months, healthcare workers, pilots, so aviation. So pretty much every industry. Nurses are about to go on strike in some areas. I've seen teacher strikes getting ready to happen or happening, or have heard rumors of happening. So no matter where you look in the workforce, whether it's remote or not, there's a shift that's happening that we haven't seen since the 80s. And those of us that are a little bit more seasoned probably remember that work dynamic shift in the 80s when the auto workers went on strike. And this video, shout out to this TikToker who did a fantastic job of talking about what's happening right now.
50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work.
So we're at a crossroads where we're going to have to ask ourselves individually and collectively what it is that we actually want and what the purpose of living in life is. Because right now we are being told that the only purpose we have on this earth is to be a worker. And this person is saying the quiet parts out loud about what a racial capitalist system will always do to the worker. It will be violent and it will be extractive. He literally is saying that the worker needs to feel pain. We need to feel the weight of not being able to support ourselves and have our basic needs met because we refuse to give up of our labor to those small few who benefit from it and then hoard everything while telling us we have to do more. So now we're at the crossroads. How are we defining life? How are we defining living? Because this is not it. But also, we will never find those answers outside of ourselves. We will not find those answers in these same systems. You cannot fix a system that does not want to be fixed. All you are doing is fixing it so that you can somehow benefit from it in one way, shape, or form. But that usually is a delusion because very, 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 very few times do you actually benefit from a system that is extracting from you. So then what does living in life mean to you? What does living in life mean to those around you? And how can you center that as a way to figure out what it means to resist against these oppressive systems? Because right now they are telling us they would rather see us unalived, but be able to still provide something for them than actually have anything for us. This is the time of the worker to take back the idea of what it means to live, because we are not producers, we are human beings. Create, don't
Yeah, so that video that the guy said, and I watched the video. So the guy said that workers they need to feel pain. So unemployment needs to go up so that they can be reminded that it is a pleasure to work for an employer, not the other way around, where employees are lucky to have them. So basically, we're lucky to have jobs, and so those in these corporations are just wanting to remind us that we're here to work, and that's what we're here for: produce and work. And those other things that you are wanting are not important. And I picked that message specifically for, she said, it's time for us to kind of decide what we want for our lives. Because obviously, based on the labor market, I just told you about a bunch of strikes that are happening. There's a shift that is making corporate very uncomfortable with how much power we as people have over our lives when it comes to the things that we want to do outside of work, how much we're willing to work, how much of our lives we're willing to give up for work. A lot of those discussions are actually happening across multi-generations. So it's not just boomers, it's not just Gen X. We're seeing it in results of Gen Z and Gen whatever's below them, that people are saying, well, they're not want to work, or no one wants to work. And I think what people are saying is we're willing to work, but we need to be able to support ourselves, and we want to be able to chase our dreams. We want to be able to, give back to our communities. We want to be able to have lives that are full. And that's what we always encourage here. I know that both of us work very hard at what we do for our careers. We've worked very hard to get to this point. And it's because of what getting to this point affords you the ability to be able to do, which is live outside of work. Because both of us can remember times where we didn't have that. Both of us can remember times we only worried about working so that we can do the basic necessities of taking care of our families and taking care of ourselves, but we were striving to get to the next level in our career so that we can have more flexibility in our lives, which is why we preach and even have this Matic Mondays to talk about remote work, because we want to bring as much information into shaping your life the way you want it, outside of, you know, what we've been told or what we've been shown that we have to do.
Yeah. And it's not really to be hung up on remote working all the time, or that's the main thing. It's to improve your life. Because like you said, we were just grinding. Like, I'm just getting into my stride in my 40s. And I wish I had someone to kind of hold my hand and teach me, which I did along the way. But I was like in my 30s. I wish I had that in my 20s, you know, and I would definitely be seeing a lot more benefits right now. And I am right now. I'm working remote, getting paid a lot of money to work remote. And I'm thankful for that. But I wish I would have had that in my early 30s. But that's why we're here, to help you all, to, you know, and I get messages, which really helps me kind of to push me through and get more content out. Because even if it's just one person that said, a guy, he does not, he just started following me on Instagram. He messaged me and told me that he had been checking out my content for a while. And he appreciated, you know, just putting that information out there. I wish I had the actual message. I may be able to find it later on, but that said a lot, man. You know, I always said, if I can just help one person,
Yeah.
you know, just one person to better their lives, bring money in that can help their family. You know, I can really help my family. My mom asked for anything. You know, she couldn't really ask for much back in the day, that I would be like, I have to see if I can get it to you. Let me see if I can move some money around for your mama. You know, now I'm in a position to, you know, okay, you need help with that, I'll see you, blah, blah, blah. You know, a few $100 or something.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, I have multiple siblings. I've had two parents pass away. And so it's really just all falls on you when you get older, right? You become a responsible adult. And I'm an auntie and I'm a mother. So, you know, kids, just because they get grown don't mean they don't still need things. And I have a grandbaby, and, you know, so people still need things. And I'm grateful to be in a position to where I can be asked, and I can be, you know, not taken advantage of, and they know that they have a place where they can come when times get hard, to get a little bit of relief. And not just, you know, immediate family, but like if I'm in a situation and I see someone struggling that I know, or on the street, I'm not feeling like I'm giving something that I need away. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm finally in a position to where I can bring not just knowledge, but also, you know, a dollar or two behind that knowledge to help reinforce, you know, some of the things that we talk about here, which being in a position to give back and live how you want to live.
Right. Yeah, the guy who messaged me September 21st, he says, wow, it's crazy how many of the same people we follow. Thanks for all the guests you bring on your channel on Mondays. I'm trying to transition into IT, so hopefully I'll be giving you a bigger thank you for the motivation and ideas that you offer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was dope.
That is dope. You never know who's watching. I mean, you know, when Adrian asked me to do this, that was the first thing I thought of, is somebody out there who, you know, is just trying to find their way, young or old, just wants to make a switch. And having the shows that we have and bringing the people on that we bring on and having these kind of discussions, it is always our hope that we inspire someone to make a change in their life and know that it's possible. Know that, yes, it's going to be a challenging road, but it's so worth it if you're able to and willing to put a little bit of the work in. And, we want to shed light in dark areas, which is why we're talking about this. We're telling you and showing you video clips and news clippings so that you are seeing this is an active discussion amongst employers versus employees. So you know what you're up against. You're not going in there blind. We're trying to arm you with as much information as possible to keep you, on the offensive and not on the defensive, trying to figure out a way, right?
Yeah. And coming together with you on this, collabing with you on this was my intentions on helping Black people. Because we have a lot of skills and hard work ethic, but we don't really put it all together, and there's a few platforms that are starting to pull it together, but then they be kind of sketchy, they be kind of scammy. And I just, I hate that, especially for my people.
That's capitalism, right? That's the system. I got something you need to know.
Now there's a thin line. There's a thin line. Like, okay, I sell a good, I have goods and services that I want to sell. They're legit. Sometimes they're not legit. That's where I'm like the thin line. Like they're kind of like misleading a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's where I'm okay with. I definitely love I don't love everything about capitalist society, but I love selling of goods and services, right? I have many years back in the day of selling, so I understand that. And hey, if somebody willing to buy it, somebody dumb enough willing to buy it. Hey,
I know, and that's where we're gonna disagree, because I feel like if you got something that you didn't pay for knowledge-wise, especially to help our own people to get to where we already behind the 8 ball, I'm like, you don't have to sell everything. You got information I need. You don't have to always sell it.
Yes. But that's where I'm coming from with the Black people, like, cause I see it with the Indians, I see it with the Asians, like they don't charge their people.
Yeah,
I'm gonna charge some people to do their resume, but if you look like me and you, I'm not gonna charge you. Is it going, like I'm working on a resume now that I've been working on for a week or so. But and that's another thing too. People want when I pay you for something, I want something back in time. So you can't never say, hey, why you taking so long on my resume? Hey man, you ain't giving me nothing for that. So I never want to be put behind the 8 ball. But that's the main thing is that I really don't want to charge my own people, because I've seen it even with Africans. Most Africans will not charge other Africans. Caribbean people will not charge other Caribbean people sometimes. So it's that you see another Black person, it's like that head nod, like, yeah, I got you. You got me, yeah, I got you. But a white man comes, it's like, this is $59.99. Like, you ain't like, that's how they do. They don't charge their own people. But in the African American community, we want to charge you to go down the street. We want to charge you to go check the mail. Like, how much, you got to give me something. I can't do nothing free for my brother, and I hate that. I really do hate that. So
yeah.
Hey, just work with me on the time, and I'll get it done for you for the free. But because I feel like we should be paying back to each other. We should be giving forward. A lot of people poured into me and then asked for a dime. Some looked like me, some didn't look like me. So, but that's the sketchiness that sometimes I see, and I hate that we do that sometimes. But it is.
But that's why we're here. That's why we're here to offer up as much information. If you want to drop a donation, we always appreciate that kind of stuff. But our basis of being here is not to become famous or be well-known podcasts that are global. While we would like that, it's really just so that we can continue to encourage and inform and spread awareness and help you in any way, shape we can by sharing what we have and the knowledge from the guests that we have.
Yeah. And I get so much gratitude and happiness from just helping people. and I don't toot my horn a lot, and I always have that the start of my head about a biblical saying is what the good you give in the dark, God will bless you in the light. You know, a lot of people want to say, yeah, man, I help about 10, 15, 30 people get into IT, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. Like I'm that plug, you know, and you know, they did it some kind of way. And if they did help them get in IT, they go on the next, like they're not showing them how to stay in IT. You can get in IT real quick by a hook and crook or whatever, but IT gonna push you out if you ain't producing. IT is about producing. It ain't about getting in there. This black in tech thing. A lot of them black in tech people are not employed right now. And I'm gonna be quiet on that. Because it just
all I'm gonna say is there's a lot of information to tell you how to break into tech and what to do to break into tech, but they're not telling you what to do to maintain it, and they're not telling you about the microaggressions you're going to face. They're not telling you about some of the challenges that you'll face with people who look like you, people who don't look like you, and so that's why we bring as much information as we can, because a lot of the information is not tailored to us at all. It's actually tailored to a different audience. And it's important that you listen to people who look like you to help you recognize those cues, so you know kind of how to navigate in maintaining. Because as we've mentioned several times before, it's not easy. It's easier to get into it than it is to maintain, you know, and be happy and healthy in it.
Right, and this is a great segue to what I wanted to present. I was telling you about earlier. I shared it with you. I saw on LinkedIn a white guy, and I really didn't even go to his. Let's go to Mr. Jordan's profile here. Let's be nosy. Jordan Nelson, I think, is a white guy. He's a Caucasian guy. Salesforce consultant. He's very well-to-do in the subject matter of Salesforce. And Mr. Jordan dropped a very interesting article the other Friday. A comment, more of a post. He says, and it's on the topic of getting certifications. I always try to tell people.
You talked about here.
Yes. Which if you're trying to get in IT, I always say there's three things that you really need to focus on. You need to focus on the role that you want to be in, the experience, how you're going to get that. Because you always see people say, they say you need 3 to 5 years of experience in this entry level. Like they could say that entry level don't mean you have to have no experience. Like sometimes they still want you to have experience. How do you get that experience? And like if you don't have a degree, certifications or whatever, you need to focus on those three. If you have all those three, that's great. But 2 out of 3 is okay. So you got to figure those out, right? So let's go on to certification. So Jordan says you don't need more certs to land a Salesforce job. He said you need to grow your network, build a personal brand, improve your communication skills, learn advanced job search tactics, create an eye-catching yet effective resume, understand how you can contribute according to your skill set. If your goal is to land a job, start focusing on the right parameters. Collecting unnecessary certs is definitely not one of them. Okay. So today, I don't really know her, but I really liked her work ethic. She has 25 Salesforce certification, 25 plus, I think, actually. She's a what you call an advocate for Salesforce. Some people love certain platforms, whether it's Salesforce, ServiceNow, SAP,
DevOps,
DevOps or whatever,
Jira, and
AWS, you know, and they stay in that lane. Some people, I brought myself out. I know pretty much a little bit in each one. Yeah, it all depends on what you like, whatever, right? So Cece says, She said, take a seat right here. Let me school you. She said, all right, I'm going to say it. Cece is a Black woman of African descent.
First of all, her name is Camille.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm keep calling her.
Her name is Camille.
Camille. Actually, let's see Camille's profile. Yeah. Oh yeah, she all up on that picture. She got a little.
Let's go see what she says.
The solution architect. Yeah. So yeah,
solution architect. Good for her.
She's busting. She's getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Camille says, oh man, she got the virtual white chair out on this one, man. She said, this is real nice advice if you aren't from an underrepresented community. If you are, then you know that you need to show up twice as well as the next non-underrepresented person to be successful. We don't have the luxury of just coming as we are with a plucky attitude. That's that, that Becky,
Yeah, like I don't need that.
Like sure. And hitting that word, awesome. That's awesome. No worries. Hit you with that no worries. All right. So I also noticed that to a certain demographic, search stopped being so important when more underrepresented people started getting them. But that's another conversation.
That
being said, please get as many certs as you want to while making sure you have some experience, which doesn't have to be an actual job, underneath them to illustrate your knowledge. That can be done with a customized developer or related super badges. Now that's where, let me table for a minute. That's where I went with the know your role, the experience. This is what she's talking about with the experience. While making sure you have some experience, which doesn't have to be an actual job. Getting these certs, if you don't have, because they like for you to have some type of certification, a degree, something that says you took time to learn something, whether it was in college or if it was in a boot camp or something. You have something, preferably proctored type exams. Let me caveat that, because they have little small exams, and LinkedIn even have their exams and certifications, but they're not proctored.
Yeah, I think even like Lean Six Sigma is not proctored anymore.
Oh, for real? Okay. But you have to seek out the big guys, right? So all Salesforce certifications should be proctored. That's when you know if it's a real exam. And they're all, Salesforce proctor exams, right? Okay. So now she's back to saying it was because of my Trailhead badges that I got my first job on the delivery side. I had no degree, no certs. It is because of my certifications that I've been able to stay active and more move to better jobs. I got my AA 5 years ago. My certs carried me. I don't know. I think that may be an admin something. But yeah, so she showed how she overcame that obstacle of years of experience with getting all those certifications.
Yeah, and I go ahead.
And so, because she says, I had no degree, no certs. You'd be surprised at the amount of people that in the Black community have degrees. It's very small. It's a lot of people that don't have degrees or have a year and just didn't complete it, didn't finish school. So that's I want to bring up the fact that those of you who've been listening for a while know that I'm one of those people she's talking about. I've been interviewed in my past. I was interviewed by, and I'm dropping names, Starbucks and Ford Motor Company for tech roles, because I did have the experience. I worked for a consulting company prior to what I'm doing now, and went to conferences and I did everything. I went to conferences and all of that. And that was, no matter what interview I did, they all said the same thing. I wish you had your college degree. So that barrier became a sticking point in my career. So I did what I needed to do to finish my degree, which I happily did. But not only did I finish my degree, but I went and got 3 certifications in a matter of 6-7 months. During the time I also finished my degree. So adding those certifications
plus the degree boosted my marketability tremendously. I can tell you today that I still get emails because of certifications that I took, and they don't even care that I have a college degree or not. It does make you stand out, particularly for us. And I'm speaking directly to us. Anytime you see advice where someone says that you don't need this or you don't need that, and they're talking about what certificates you do need, make sure you're doing your research. You want to get certificates from the associations that are credible within your industry. So we're not talking just IT. We're talking about insurance, across the, if we're talking about IT, there's so many different certificates you can get depending on what level. If you want to be a project manager, you can get a project manager. If you want to be a scrum master, you can get a scrum master. If you want to work in cybersecurity, there are cybersecurity ones that you can recommend. You could go back and watch some of Matic Monday cybersecurity shows that Adrian has done in the past to find out what certifications are valid. Or you can do your own research and find out, listen to shows like this. But please, please, please do not believe the hype that, like this young man is saying, that you don't need certifications. When we're walking in the door, the second they know you are competing against, now the market is flooded with thousands of people who have similar, if not better, experience, and you're going to need those certifications to stand out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely with social media, TikTok, Instagram. It's almost like the travel thing. A lot of people talking about, hey, travel this way, travel that way. You can get these points, or you can do it this way, this travel hack. And it's promoting more travel. It's promoting people, or inspiring people to travel more. Yeah. It's the same thing with IT. Like these, take this boot camp, or do my e-newsletter. It'll show you how to advance your resume, get these six-figure jobs, six figures. I'm like, you ever realize a lot of people don't know what six figures really is?
Yeah.
Do you really realize that? Like, if you ever ask somebody what is six figures to you, they would not be able to tell you.
They know it's more figures than they currently getting.
But what is, like, okay, so they say the program manager, it's called project manager, program manager, developer can pay you six figures, right? So, if a recruiter asks you, what are you looking for as compensation? It's six figures. What do you say? You see?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you say?
Like, oh, I know it's supposed to be six figures. It's almost like they'll say, like, Price is Right, $101,000, like
$1,001. $100,001. That's what I'm looking for. $100,001.
Yeah. That's I actually asked one of the young ladies I'm mentoring. Like, I was like, do you know what 100? Do you know what six figures really is? Like, somebody was to ask you, like, they like you for this role, and because that's the first place that you can really get caught up. Like, you can really get the imposter syndrome broken down on you. Is the money? Like, if you ask for, okay, if you're a full stack developer and you ask for 100,000, I'm gonna be like, full stack developer, you can make like close to done in 200,000, and you say 100, like
you gonna give me 100? Like, yeah, sure, I'll take that.
Like, huh? It's okay to be off a little bit. Even if you off 5,000, 10,000, but if you off 100,000,
the point is, y'all do y'all research. You just don't take. The point of this whole segment is, don't take people's word for it, and understand who these people are actually talking to when they're saying these things. Like, when they say you don't have to have certifications or a degree and this and that, please understand they are not talking to your black ass.
Right.
They're not talking to you. They're not talking to you.
That's where we
hate to be so blunt, but I'm gonna have to keep it 100 with y'all. They are not talking to you. She got 25 certifications, and trust and believe there are still some companies that she needs all 25 of those certifications.
Facts.
And she will go to the interview, and they will still ask her about her qualifications and what she brings to the table. Although she has 25 certifications, a degree, and a 10-year experience doing what she's doing, they will absolutely still ask for that.
On God. On God.
So these people telling you it's easy to get into it, what they're not telling you is all the stuff behind it.
On God, they will. Is there any
You
way
will get tested and tried every day. Every day they're gonna try you. Every day. You're gonna get tried every day.
girl,
Every day. It's
girl.
not less stressful. And I'm not trying to encourage and discourage anyone from going into any field. We're trying to keep it real, because social media is only giving you a snippet of what the actual workforce is. The same problems you have on your job now, you have in these other fields too. And so there's just a different way you have to manage that. It's a different way you have to navigate in order to continue to be successful.
Yes, and
That's why we're
let me finish here. She says, and don't let anyone dissuade you. Your path is your path, and you do it in the way that's best for you. Advice like this, be damned. Amen.
Yeah.
Yes, if you want to work for a partner company, certifications definitely make you more desirable. Don't believe the hype. Okay. Trying to think of what would be a partner company? I knew some back in the day. Partner
So I
company.
used to work for a partner company. So SAP is a prime, right?
Well, SAP is a product. There's a product,
Right.
and they may have like
They have partners who sell their product, but their partners also sell their own product with conjunction with the SAP product.
yes, they may
They
have something that integrates in with SAP or whatever. They have yeah. But
Products.
they may just have their face on the product, or they may have SAP as a face on
They
the
have,
product.
or they have enhancements. That's what they call them. They call them enhancements to what the SAP product already provides.
Right. So they would need people who have that specialty in that program or that software.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, you hit that dead on the head. And that's where, I'm almost like the grumpy man in the room, the old grumpy man, get off my lawn with a lot of these young Gen Zs in their 20s type Black IT professionals coming in or just trying to come in. Like, do not be happy with just getting in on the roll. Like, I've made it. Day one, I made it. That is a big achievement, because it's been countless projects. I think about the project I'm on now. I have maybe 28 people under me, and there's like 2 Black people out of 28. That's almost like 5% or something like that. That's on the project. So yeah, it's and sometimes I'm the only one. So this, this DEI thing that people are pushing, I love it. And I think it's great, but I think it's really ignored sometimes, because them hiring managers are gonna hire who they want to hire, and there's nobody to say like, oh, well, he's racist on it. Like why he don't have X, Y, and Z, people there, And I think, not think, with the Supreme Court taking affirmative action out of the recruiting process for colleges, don't think that's not going to impact your career and your job. And
a lot of companies have gotten rid of their DEI departments. A lot of major companies have gotten rid of their DEI, not including smaller or mid-level organizations have eliminated their DEI efforts. And let's be clear, having relationships with people who work in HR and in diversity and inclusion, and I myself have done some diversity and inclusion work as well in different fields. A lot of the times it's for show anyway, so there's not really a whole lot of real effort for diversity and inclusion. A lot of them just, during the George Floyd, in the height of that uprisings, decided to hire DEI because employees were calling out employers who were, kind of not doing things in honorable ways. And so they, employed DEI people to kind of show not just their immediate organization, but, to media and social media that they were making some kind of effort. But if you look up DEI on LinkedIn or Google, you'll see several examples of articles of people saying it was just a front. When it actually came to doing actual DEI work, there was not really an effort to actually do the work behind it. It was just basically a front. So there's a lot of, room for improvement there, but definitely that Supreme Court decision will, we will feel the effects of that for generations.
Mm-hmm. So that's why we have to go back to CC, Miss Camille. Y'all follow Miss Camille Camille CCA on LinkedIn. She has a lot of great stuff. She's actually going to Africa to promote. Like I said, she's like an advocate. She's really big in the space with Salesforce. So she's going to Africa to teach Salesforce or something like that, which is so dope. But it's like Moses, built, not Moses. Who built the ark? David. What's the ark? Building the ark. Who built the ark in the Bible?
Who built the ark?
Yeah.
Didn't Moses build the ark?
Was it Moses? We go. Yeah. Who built the ark?
Oh no, it wasn't Moses. It was that's messed up. Neither one of us can remember.
My mama. If my mom looking at this live.
wait.
Now I done taught you better.
It wasn't Moses.
That's what is the problem. You ain't go to church on Sunday. That's what the problem. I'm sorry, Mama.
It was given to Moses.
Moses built the ark. Okay. Yeah. Well, he built it, and
wait, no, that's the covenant. Never mind.
Oh Lord.
No, so that's the Ark of the Covenant. Who built the ark in the Bible?
Noah. Yes.
Noah. Thank you, King Tao. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. Oh my goodness.
Yes. And so Noah listened to God's instructions and built it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't saying I'm God, but I'm saying, hey, build that resume because it's coming. It's coming. It's needed. And you're going to float on to the promised land. You know what I'm saying? Be saved from the floods.
No, Lord.
But
the flood of unemployment.
Right. Let's appreciate King Tao with the save.
Thank you.
Yeah, my mama would have been super mad if I ain't get that name out. But yeah, so you get those certifications because in how I feel, even though I have still experienced racism in IT, it's hard for them to deny you. It's hard for them to be racist because a lot of people who make the hiring calls, sign the checks in IT, don't know a lick of nothing in IT. The white people that they just don't know nothing. They have to depend on people who look black and brown. Even though they speak the Indian or whatever, you can't discriminate or your company gonna fail. So you need people that look like us in IT. Even though they fight it and all that, it's still going to be there for you. Opportunities are countless, openings for IT. Still, after the big wave of Black in IT and remote work IT, there's still room for you to get in there. But you got to put the work in. That's the common denominator. You got to put the work in.
And trust in yourself. Understand that it's going to take time, and be patient with yourself. Confidence is a big thing that comes across in your interviews. Don't be too confident. I mean, don't show too confident.
You know,
That's what I'm talking about. But you got to be confident. You have to. The confidence is going to come across when you're speaking about what you're doing because you're showing that you know what you're talking about. That's the confidence I mean. And there's a fine line for some people between us being confident and us being cocky. And you got to kind of know how to walk that walk. You know, you got to know how to walk that line. And it's important that you getting those certifications and getting those certifications along with understanding your transferable skills, understanding what you've done in the past and what you bring to the table will be very useful for you when you're interviewing because they're looking for you to be able to sell yourself. You're going to these interviews and you're selling on what you're able to bring to the table. And some of my opportunities that I've gotten because of my confidence, because I know what I've done, I know what I can do, and I know how that will impact what they're needing. So I listen to what they're saying they're looking for in a resource, and then I tie that with what I know I'm capable of doing and sell that solution. I sell myself as a solution to those issues, those problems, that need. And that's kind of what you have to do. In order for me to do that, I have to be confident on what I've done in the past. I'm confident to be able to exhibit and give examples. When they're asking me for examples of project management or difficult situations or difficult customers or, all the kind of standard questions that they ask, I'm confident in knowing that I've had those kind of experiences. And so I bring those to the table when necessary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it's really role specific too. There's not one personality fits all type roles. And if you're customer facing, they want that dog. They want that you the head honcho. If you're a developer and you're behind the scenes, they just want to know if you really do the work. But like customer facing, client facing,
working with teams, working with different work streams.
Yes, the cross-functional team, they want to know if you know how to talk and communicate with people and can be convincing and persuasive. Almost like I always say, it's almost like being a BA project manager. It's almost like selling cars. It's almost like sales. It's like
you got to sell the team you got to sell the team on the project. You got to sell leadership on the solutions. You got to sell them on the timeline. If the timeline needs to be adjusted because the management team doesn't like it, then you got to sell the team on the new timeline, right?
Yes.
It's constant selling because you've got to get everybody to buy in on the product, the timeline, the solution, the development, how to develop it, when to develop what. Like you've got to sell every step to everybody. Everybody's got to be aligned. And that unalignment comes when you haven't sold somebody on a piece.
Yes. And with the virtual, we talk about remote working, like it's sometimes it adds a little bit more complexity to it when you don't see people's faces. So you don't understand how they're taking and accepting your comments and your thoughts. And so that can kind of mess with your mind too. So it's like it's levels to this IT and that aspect of being client facing. Because if I'm just talking and I'm really trying to get a pitch, and sometimes these people be on mute and they could be listening and be on mute, and you the natural thing in any kind of conversation is you're looking for input, you're looking for body language, you're looking for something. But if they don't have a camera on and you don't see nothing but their initials, and you like, sometimes that quietness really kills people.
Oh yeah.
You have to really, and I'm speaking for my own self. I really wasn't out front and talking, so I really needed that back and forth, and so I had to kind of really grasp that and own that and get better with that. And so I really just be blah 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 blah. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you like that idea or not, and I keep moving. So it's always something that you're working on as IT as well too. So
Yeah.
Let me go to the
Go
chat.
ahead.
We can talk to the chat people in a minute. Mocha, she says both of you aspire others. Thanks for the show. Oh man,
Thank you, Mocha Bella.
Mocha, you want to come out, retire, and get into IT? Got you. We help you transfer over now. Salute to the team, my boy BLB. Yes, I was commenting on your. I commented on the fight, man. Yeah, Butterbean and El Gamo. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was funny though. Yeah.
Hey BLB.
Yeah, she says BLB was good. Oh, we have microwave. Oh man. Yes, microwave, cooking with the microwave. Appreciate you coming through, man. And definitely check out him and I haven't been seeing microwave on the little show they got, but they've been having it, but I haven't been seeing him.
He did a show with Jelani, right?
Yeah, Jelani and I only know him and Jelani, and I don't know the other guy's name, but good little talk show. Y'all need to put some fantasy football on there, man. I've been trying to tell y'all, man.
I don't think Microwave likes fantasy football. Tell me if I'm wrong, Microwave.
But
I don't think Microwave a big fantasy football fan.
Well, I'm just saying, for as getting their subscribers to grow, because they talk about players very in depth. They have some great in depth. You just got to put the stats with it. Like, hey, I think I should put this guy.
Look at Mocha's comment. Please read your Bibles. It's down the line. Mocha, I will promise I will start. I do read the Bible.
I had a brain fart on him.
Exactly. We've been working all day.
Yeah, we know as I got Noah. Yeah, good evening, Microwave. Midday, your brother, and
no, that's y'all. Wait, that's patois.
Yes, they're talking about patois. Travel. Where you traveling to, Microwave? Yeah. Okay. Mocha says, all the certifications, are they free or you have to pay? Most certifications, like I said, you want to get a quality certification. First of all, you want to get something that's industry recognized.
Not the Google.
Yeah, not the yeah.
I will put it out there. Stop, y'all. Don't buy, don't pay, don't get any of those.
I don't know if you would ever get a Google cert. Get a Google job with a Google certification.
No.
I really don't. They not.
All people I know who work for Google don't have no Google certifications.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, stay away from Google, Microsoft, or AWS, Amazon Web Services. I would recommend. Those are proctor exams as well. They go from like 200, 300, 400 maybe. They have some boot camps. I always recommend like YouTube, Udemy. Coursera has some pretty cool courses on, and Cloud Guru is pretty good too, to learn about cloud.
Yeah, and of course you can get certifications for and if you're looking for tech, you can get certifications based on the type of methodology they use. So there's a lot of agile certifications you can get, ranging from Lean Six Sigma to, like we mentioned, Scrum Masters and all these agile roles that you could get, certified in. There's also like IDLE, which is another, project management methodology of delivery that you could do as well. So just do your research. You can always come into our show on Monday, every other Monday, and ask, hey, I saw the certification. It's $275. It's being offered by ABC, and this is what they're promising. Does it sound like something that's legit? I've done my research. We can tell you. Use the people you got around you. Go on LinkedIn. Google that certification on LinkedIn.
Ma'am, there you go. I was just about to say that. Take that Google. They have a Google Cloud Practitioner. But you can search that, right? And look at the top left corner when you do jobs. You put and when it says the search under the jobs tab, You put that certification in there, hit enter. The jobs will come up that have that specific search terms. And then you can look into the count and see how many jobs are in that top left. You can look and see how many jobs come up when you do that. And just look at both of them, and then put AWS in there. It's probably like 2 or 3 times more than Google Cloud. So yeah, good call on that. Good call on that, Tiff. Okay, yeah, Noah built the ark, baby. He built it. Yes, we will definitely. I actually I do my Bible app like almost every day.
Me too.
Whatever. So I try to make sure I get a time to the Lord. Land on the Lord's hands. But all right, we're at the mark. We're at 1 minute over. Cool. So there's no shutdown. There's still remote work out there. Get at it. Get at it. Put the work in. Check out the other Matic Mondays. We here for y'all, peoples. We here.
Yeah.
Oh, she said microwave plays fantasy football. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they need to have some segments with fantasy football on there, man. And the people will come. Everybody trying to get a little edge, a little tip. So
basically, microwave. Adrian wants to be able to only watch your show to get some tips for fantasy football to help improve his chances of winning.
Hey, I stay open now. I'm not saying I got my little people I mess with, but I'm always willing to hear other people's perspective. Definitely their plays, what they thinking about playing that week. Week 3, week 4 coming up. I could possibly win tonight. I need a miracle, but yeah. So we'll see. I'm co-champion from last year, so I'm trying to defend my co-champion crown. So yes. But any parting words, Tiff?
No, I did want to say the TDSS family. I know some of them are getting together next week. They're in Atlanta. So those who will, I wish you guys safe travels. Yeah, it's next weekend. No, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, it's next weekend.
No,
it's not this weekend. It's the following weekend.
Yes,
the 13th through the 15th.
Uh-huh.
Our podcast family will be getting together. Is what I'm speaking of to those who don't know. Our podcast families will be getting together and hanging out in Atlanta for the weekend. So I want to wish everybody safe travels who will be getting together. Enjoy Atlanta, enjoy each other. And I'll see. Hopefully we'll have a show 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from today, and I'll be remote somewhere. So, I know I'll be remote, but hopefully we have a show.
Somebody going somewhere again?
Again.
Just was outside, man.
So safe travels, everybody. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and it's about to be the holiday season, so get locked and loaded and get yourself prepared for the next transition.
Yes. Yeah, we'll be back. Lord willing. Read our Bibles and stuff.
Yeah, right.
But with that, we gone.
See ya. Right.
Take care.
Bye.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.